So Sam, you've scaled up now, and you're in the position you're in, which is amazing. And you replaced your outgoings, you replaced your job, and you're earning more than you were in your job. How has that impacted your life and kind of your freedom? And how is that? Do you find you're working more? Are you working less? Was it as good as you expected it to be? Kind of talk me through that.
Yeah, it's definitely way better than I expected. I think for me, it's the time freedom. I'm not that fussed about the financial side. I think initially I was prepared to take a bit of a hit for a few months, just to have the time freedom and actually do something that I like. And you know what I mean, that I can, you know what I mean, kind of make an impact rather than just stuck at a job where I was literally making this company millions of pounds and I was just getting, well, I know they were paying me a decent wage, but it was a tiny scheme off the top. And obviously having to graft and going in the office every day, you just get burnt out. So I think for me, it's the time freedom, and I've definitely been working less. Like over the last few months, you know what I mean? I won't lie, there's been days where I've been doing 12-hour shifts, but I've been taking loads of days off. The other week, I kind of just celebrated, had 2 weeks off, went camping with mates and stuff. So yeah, it's just, for me, it's the time freedom. I think you said in one of your videos a while back, like, I'm just not born to be a slave in the workplace, man. It's just, it's not about that life.
100%. No, I'm not about that life either, man. Not about that at all. What's up guys, Jordan here. So today we are joined by Sam, who's a member of the Affluent Academy. He owns Clickscope Digital. He's absolutely smashing it. And the reason I wanted to get Sam on, interesting story, he quit a 40K a year job. So really good job here in the UK. And he replaced that income within 30 days of that, whilst you were working a notice period, wasn't that, Sam? Is that correct? Which is crazy, and we're going to dive into that. I want to dive into that later on today in this video. But first of all, as we always like to start off, Sam, if you could just introduce yourself quickly, let people know maybe how you came across SMMA and why you want to launch your own agency and start your own business.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, first of all, thanks for having me on, Jordan.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually been in the digital marketing space quite a few years. A bit like you know what I mean, I was in the kind of corporate rat race, grinding on the 9 to 5, and yeah, I was basically working as a digital marketing manager last year, but I just did not feel fulfilled. I was just burnt out. I was sick of, you know what I mean, not having time freedom, that kind of thing, basically. So yeah, I started up my own agency last year, and yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was kind of procrastinating for quite a bit. And I think I was stuck in that comfort bubble. So I think because I was getting such a good wage and things like that, I was just kind of in that safety kind of bubble where, you know what I mean, I wasn't willing to kind of take that risk. And then just months went by and I just knew it was making me depressed. I was just a bit burnt out and things like that. So yeah, basically, and I mean, I do not advise this to anyone. I just thought one day I'm just gonna quit my job, and then, you know what I mean, I've got to make things work pretty quickly, basically. So I don't know if you've listened to Tony Robbins. He's got that old saying, which is, you know what I mean, if you want to take the island, burn the boats. Bit more extreme, but it's basically saying, you know what I mean, like, don't give yourself like a way back. And yeah, it was a big risk, because if I didn't make it work, my credit card debt would have gone soaring up even more. My savings would have been drained within a month or two. So yeah, I put that pressure on me, and yeah, I don't advise that to a lot of people out there, but it worked for me. And yeah, basically I replaced my 40K wage in like less than 30 days. And yeah, it's just been upwards from there. Sorry.
So that notice period was pretty much like this ticking time bomb. It was like, this is the countdown. These are how many days you've got left to make it happen. Or
yeah, literally.
That's wicked. So what was like your go-to? How did you manage to replace that outgoings? Did that consist of like 1 or 4 clients? How did that kind of pan out? And how did you start? I mean, I suppose the first thing I wonder is, how did you even have the time? Because a lot of people always wonder that, like, if I'm working full time, I mean, I know how I did it was early mornings and when I finished work. But yeah, how did you fit that into your lifestyle and make that happen?
Sure. So I actually pulled a couple of sick days, a little bit of holiday, weekends, and luckily I was able to work from home like once or twice a week. Nice. So I was just kind of blasting all the work out that I needed to do at my corporate job. And then Thursday I'd work from home. I'd just be like, right, agency. So yeah, it was 2 clients, and I signed the biggest one up was for nearly 2.5 grand a month. So that was really kind of what saved me in a way, because it was, you know what I mean, such a big retainer. And I signed them by literally just posting in a Facebook group. It was a real estate group. I just put a post up there and just basically closed her on the call, man. And yeah, they're still my client today. Absolutely smashing it for them. I'm like literally selling them properties like every day. So they're laughing, and I've actually increased their retainer now, so they're now paying me like nearly 3 grand a month.
Nice.
So yeah, and then I had another small time client which I signed, but I actually ended up losing them because they're in the travel industry, and obviously that just tanked over lockdown. But then obviously just signed up a few more clients, and yeah, I'm doing about 5.5 grand at the moment. So yeah.
Nice. That's amazing, man. So do you find that there were skills, because obviously you worked in marketing before, do you think there were transferable skills that you had from that job? And if so, what would you say that was that kind of enabled you to kind of scale up quickly and sign up those clients?
Sure, 100%. I think it's just having that knowledge of digital marketing and like the kind of buyer's journey and things like that. And I guess like analyzing websites a bit better. And I guess got a bit more of a how do you say it, like a bonus in a way that I can do things like SEO, Google Ads. So I've got kind of more services. So I guess I can also upsell clients as well. But yeah, I guess that really, it was just having
I presume it's really more so just having that confidence in that, that digital marketing works. So it's like, it's not even like, obviously that helps, but it's not even so much like, how to do SEO or Google Ads, which is great. It's like just knowing that shit works.
Yeah.
So when you can then sell it to someone, you're selling it with so much more confidence, which I think is something that a lot of people struggle with when they first start out. It's like that kind of, you're almost selling something that you don't really know. Or maybe you've taken like the Affluent Academy, or you've taken another course, so you kind of know the basics of Facebook ads. But if you haven't done it before, so many people can get stuck on even signing that first client, because when they're having that meeting, they're not speaking with absolute confidence. Whereas you've already worked in an agency where you know that this shit actually works and you actually can get results for people. And so that's going to come across in your voice and the way you speak and the way that people trust you. So I think a really key thing, guys, to take away from this, just so far, is just you need to have confidence that digital marketing works. There's people like me, people like Sam, there's all these agencies out there which are doing well. They're not doing well from selling some falazé service which doesn't actually work, which doesn't actually do anything. It's a real service which gets real results, which makes companies real money. And so the sooner you realize that, the more confident you will be in actually pitching your service and signing up clients. Sam, you mentioned lockdown and COVID-19, and obviously you had a client which was like brick and mortar, whatever. Have you found that had a big impact on you? And if so, what did you change during that period?
It did have an impact because I actually lost, I think, 2 clients overall during lockdown, purely just because of the industries they were in. They just completely crashed. So I think straight away I was like, right, I need to, focus on the industers that are going to flourish during COVID-19. I didn't dive into e-commerce like a lot of people have and are doing. But I think it was just focusing on the businesses that I knew, were still up and running and things like that. Yeah.
So you're still going brick and mortar at the minute, are you?
A bit of a mix, yeah. Mainly real estate, but yeah, nice. Just a bit of a mix, to be honest. Yeah, nice. I haven't really found like a niche that I really love at the moment. And, it's good kind of playing around with different niches, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And what's like your go-to outreach? Because that's one thing I don't really speak about real estate a lot on YouTube, and I think probably a lot of people hearing that from you are going to be very happy that somebody is in that niche, because I get asked all the time, like, how do I reach out to real estate? How do I get results to real estate? How do I do this? And I'm like, to be honest, guys, I really don't actually do it myself. So I don't want to brag to you that I do. So can you talk me through like your outreach strategy with real estate? Like what are you using to actually get hold of real estate agents and sign them up?
Sure. So again, as you teach in your course, it's the multi-strategy approach is the best. Like, not everyone uses emails, not everyone kind of responds in the same way. So it's a bit of a mix. Facebook groups I found to be a real winner. Like I said, I signed up that, who are now nearly paying me 3 grand a month client just by posting in a Facebook group.
That's cool.
Email outreach, obviously. And then my favorite's probably Loom, to be honest. I don't have much sales experience, and that's actually pretty much why I bought your course. I know you had a successful career in the sales kind of industry before you started your agency. So I think I really needed that knowledge to go alongside with my marketing stuff. I just love Loom because you can really craft your kind of message and stuff before you send it. You can obviously take a couple of goes if you need to, you know what I mean, re-record the video.
Yeah.
So I just quite like Loom. I think if you haven't got a lot of sales experience, people can throw you off with the odd question, or I don't know, if they're coming across a bit moody on the call, it can really throw you off, especially if you haven't got experience, you know what I mean, with sales and really kind of owning the call. So I think that's why I really like Loom, because you can kind of craft your sales script. You can get everything you want to say across, and you can do it all in a short 5-minute video instead of, you know what I mean, call. So yeah, Loom's a winner, definitely.
Love that. Okay, so guys, if you don't know what Loom is like a screen recording video software. It puts you in the corner, and it basically enables you to send over almost like a little audit. So when you're sending over Loom, are you doing like, how are you structuring that when you're reaching out to people?
So usually just kind of analysing what they're doing at the moment, looking at their website, like the social media profiles, and then a big winner is always showing them competitors. But people hate to see their competitors doing better. I think that's such a good thing. And again, I think you teach that in the course.
Yeah, definitely.
I think people see like a competitor of theirs doing better, and they're like, oh shit, no, like I want to be doing that, and they're just straight on board. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, analysing what they've done and making it really personal as well. If they see you've put the time into making the video, they're, you know what I mean, more on board, rather than just sometimes emails, they just get ignored a lot of the time. So
how are you then sending that over? Are you like DMing it, or are you sending it over on a multiple?
Yeah, again, a mix. So sometimes I'll drop it into like an email sequence, and then if I haven't heard anything, LinkedIn's always a good one I found, and then if not, Facebook and you know what I mean, Instagram as well.
Amazing. So that's key. I mean, what Sam's referring to here, and if you've maybe it's one of the first videos you've watched of mine, I refer to quite a lot of multi-platform strategy. And the key is that when you're reaching out to people, you have to respect that you can't just cold call, or you can't just send emails, or you can't just send DMs, because you've got 5-10 people in the room. The only way I can explain it is, if you've got a group of friends and you know all your friends, you know that some of your friends you can reach on WhatsApp, some of your friends you can call them up and they'll answer every time. Some of your friends will never answer the phone, right? You always reach out to your friends in different ways. One of them you might even just message on Instagram DMs, because that's the place they are. So you don't then treat that differently when you're reaching out in business. Not everybody's going to accept the same way. Not everybody's going to pick up the phone. Not everybody's going to answer their emails. So the key thing is that if you reach out to everybody on every different platform, and I don't mean like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything. I mean like pick like, I don't know, like 1 or 2 of their social medias, then an email, then a cold call, and stagger that over a couple of days, you've reached out to someone in every possible way that you could get hold of them. And at least then you're going to be able to squeeze more yeses or nos out of your prospects. And sometimes a no is as good as a yes, because you're not then wasting your time following up on that anymore. So Sam, you've scaled up now, and you're in the position you're in, which is amazing. And you replaced your outgoings, you replaced your job, and you're earning more than you were in your job. How has that impacted your life and kind of your freedom? And how is that? Do you find you're working more? Are you working less? Was it as good as you expected it to be? Kind of talk me through that.
Yeah, it's definitely way better than I expected. I think for me, it's the time freedom. I'm not that fussed about the financial side. I think initially I was prepared to take a bit of a hit for a few months, just to have that time freedom and actually do something that I like. And you know what I mean, that I can, you know what I mean, kind of make an impact, rather than just stuck at a job where I was literally making this company millions of pounds, and I was just getting, well, I know they were paying me a decent wage, but it was a tiny scheme off the top. And obviously having to graft and going in the office every day, you just get burnt out. So I think for me, it's the time freedom, and I've definitely been working less. Like over the last few months, you know what I mean? I won't lie, there's been days where I've been doing 12-hour shifts, but I've been taking loads of days off. The other week, I kind of just celebrated, had 2 weeks off, went camping with mates and stuff. So yeah, it's just, for me, it's the time freedom. I think you said in one of your videos a while back, like, I'm just not born to be a slave in the workplace, man. It's just, it's not about that life.
100%. No, I'm not about that life either, man. Not about that at all. How do you find it when you do then take time off? Have you got anybody in the team that you're working with who's outsourcing, or do you then just make sure you're extra prepared in advance, or how do you kind of manage that?
Yeah, a bit of a mix, really. Often I'll just make sure I've done all the kind of key bits of work that I needed to do, but I'll sometimes reach out and outsource it. And I did have a VA doing some outreach for a while, so I knew that I was still, you know what I mean, going out there and speaking to businesses and stuff. But usually I'll just have a couple of days where I just smash all the work out. I've even done things before where I'll like schedule emails to clients for like the following week.
Oh,
nice. Days, just with like an update on how they're doing, just so I know that, you know what I mean, they're going to get that update. and I can just relax and not worry about having to check emails and things like that.
That's a good thing to do, actually. I've done that before. It's like when you schedule a message, it's like you're going on holiday or something, and you kind of don't want to just send it in advance. You want to still send it at the same time, but they then feel like you're still keeping that contact. You're still making the effort. I think that's really key. It's like, as long as you're like making the effort to keep in contact with your clients and keep them updated, you'll never run into any issues. If you want to be on the other side of the world, you won't have any issues. The only time that'll ever be a problem is if you then go lapse on their ads, or you stop reaching out and you stop touching base with them and stuff. So I think that's really key. And I think a lot of people take for granted how big or how much of a positive impact the actual time freedom side of things is, because I think everyone's like, okay, I want to earn as much cash as possible, I want to earn it and get a new house, whatever. But when you actually do start to earn a bit of cash, you realize that you enjoy the time much more than the cash itself. And the cash just kind of gives you that stability, or gives you the vehicle to be able to do the things that you want to when you want to.
And you'll get to, like, I'll get to a certain stage and then it becomes normal, and then you're always looking at that next stage, so now I want to get to 100k, but I know when I get there I'll be like, right, now I want to make, multiple six figures. So I think for me it's definitely the time freedom, just being able to do kind of what you want when you want to do it.
100%. And you're one of those. It's interesting, because I haven't actually interviewed someone on my YouTube yet who's come from, lots of people come from, like, maybe they've been in, like, you've actually come from a very similar position to me. It's like you came from like a corporate world job, you've left that job when you're in your cushy position, and in fact your friends are kind of looking at you thinking you're doing bits already, like you're already doing well, but then people don't understand that there's so much more to life than just earning a good money, a good wage, and a good job. And so did you find that people reacted negatively or tried to talk you away from starting your business? How did you find the people around you reacted to that?
With my friends, all really supportive, and my partner as well. One thing was definitely my parents, and I think I had this installed in me for a long time, was like, go to uni, work your way up the corporate ladder, or go and get a trade. And I believed that for so long, and I think had I not had that kind of installed in me, I probably would have started my agency ages ago. I think they, were maybe installing that fear, like, oh, you're self-employed, it's more stress, you've got to do all your taxes and stuff. But not saying, you can actually become a millionaire quite easily if you mind to it and stuff. But I think that's just the way they were brought up as well. And I remember, like, with my grandparents, it was a similar thing, like go to uni, basically, you have to. But the amount of people that I know have gone to uni and just wasted so much money, so much time. I know people that have gone to study marketing, done like a 3-4 year degree, and then come out and just got a basic job, which you can get with, like a 100%. Year's experience in marketing. So
people come out of uni with like £40,000 worth of debt, and then they join an entry level job, which they struggle to get even at like 20k or something like that. And it's just absolutely insane how, like, people just institutionalized to, like, that's, you're brainwashed to, you have to go to uni, you have to do that. Like, that's the only reason I went to uni. And like, I don't actually regret going, even though I got kicked out and I still got left with a 30 grand worth of debt and no degree. But I don't regret it because of the things I learned along the way. But that being said, like, I wouldn't, if you don't know what you want to achieve out of your life, you don't know what you want to do, and you don't need a degree to do what you want to do, then I would never recommend people going to university. Like, if people were just kind of, it's embedded into everything. Like, even when you're in high school and like you're doing your GCSEs, it's like, if you don't get A's on your GCSEs, you're not going to get anywhere in life. And actually, it's only the other day I was talking about how the most academic, or on paper, in most intellectual people in my school are the people that are working in toy stores right now. Like, they're people that because people focus so much time on thinking, or the pressure that you need really great academics and you need this, then actually you just need real world skills and the ability to communicate with people. If you can communicate with people and you can learn a skill like sales or marketing, you can literally transfer those skills onto anything. It's like, I genuinely believe that the sales skills that someone will learn in the Affluent Academy, we charge them $950 for right at the moment with the discount we've got on. You can transfer those skills to anything. You won't even learn that in a business marketing degree. No. Like, it's all theory based and history based, and look at what this person did before, without actually saying this is how you do it, and this is what you say, and this is what you go forward with. So I think that's really key for people to understand. If anyone is watching this and on the fence about what they want to do out of their life, don't ever feel that pressure to go to university or have to move into a certain job role. Like, you can just transfer skill, learn a basic skill like communication. You can transfer that onto anything. Sam, what would you say to someone who was like, maybe they were just starting out, because this is probably still quite raw to you as well. So someone was just starting out, maybe they've struggled to sign up clients, maybe they're even just on the fence on whether they want to jump into social media marketing. for them to have their best chance of success, I mean, you've seen people in the academy come, you've seen people go, you've seen the people who are the most successful and maybe the most unsuccessful. What would you say is key for people to bear in mind if they want to be successful within digital marketing?
Sure. So I think there's a few things. I think the first kind of key point is just start with small, simple steps. You know what I mean? If you're going to start, say, let's do it like outreach one week, just start off small, you know what I mean? Outreach to a few businesses each day and then maybe increase it the next week, because a lot of people, they'll be like, right, I'm going to do 200 businesses this week, and they just don't do it. They get burnt out and then they just give up. So yeah, small, simple steps is key, I think. Another thing, a massive thing, I think, and I do see this in the group quite a lot, is there's a massive kind of mental side to being an entrepreneur. You need to kind of welcome rejections and failures in a way and just learn from them. If you get, because you'll get rejections from outreach and you'll lose clients. I've lost clients and I've been doing marketing years. It does happen. And it can knock you back, but you just need to kind of deal with it, learn from it, and then, you know what I mean, overcome it and just push forwards. So I think there is that kind of mental side, whereas when you're at work, it's completely different. It's not, you know what I mean, you've got a secure job, you're getting paid for it. So I think that's another key point. It's definitely the mental side.
It's key, like, and knowing that it's all right to lose clients as well. Like, as you said, you've worked in marketing and this happens. So it's like some people, like, you take for granted when you're in a job. Like, think back to when you're a digital marketing agency, unless they're like the best digital marketing agency in the world. Like when you're doing your marketing job, you lose clients or you screw up or something happens and it goes negatively in that job on that day. Like, I've had so many times that I've screwed up a sales deal, like in a job, and it's cost the company like 20 grand or something. And it's like, it's one of them things that those companies are just like, well, it is what it is. Like, we've got enough people, we'll make enough sales. But you don't then go home and worry about that so much. Like, unless your job's on the line, you're not taking on that risk. So you have to accept that, like, that's happening in your day job all the time. Even if you're working as a waiter in a restaurant, there's pissed off customers you're dealing with all the time. Yeah. So of course that responsibility is going to be handed over to you when you're the business owner, because you're the one getting the benefits, aka the profits. And so I think a lot of people are maybe sheltered in business where they feel like everything's going to be plain sailing because I watched this guy on YouTube, Jordan, and he lives a really happy life. And that doesn't mean that, but that doesn't mean that I don't have to deal with shitty clients, or I don't have to deal with me screwing up or our team screwing up and all those problems that you're going to come across the way. So I think if you go into it knowing that you're going to have screw ups and you're going to have issues. I remember when we had our first ads contractor we took on, and one of our biggest clients at the time, and they were like a transplant. They were doing like hair transplant at a clinic. Couldn't get my words up then. And they were one of my biggest clients. And at the time, we took on this new contractor because we had loads of clients and we wanted to just outsource stuff and just have more time. And he created this advert. It was a messenger advert. So we wanted to get people messaging and bringing leads in, but he did it. So like, for some reason he did worldwide. And so they were getting like 2p messages, and I didn't realize for about 48 hours. And they got around 2,000 messages into their inbox from like the Western world. And it just screwed up everything. Our lookalike audiences, the lot. And like having to like overcome that, I had to drive down to Kent, which is like 4 hours for me, like to actually like sit there and just be like, look, I'm so sorry we screwed up here, because I didn't even told them we took on a contractor. And I think just knowing things like that are going to happen at some point, I think that's really key.
Is it Grant Cardone? He says it well. He says, if you're getting complaints, it's a good thing, because it means you've got customers. So, and yeah, I think everyone's going to fail. You're going to fail at little things, and I think you just need to learn from them. Like, no one's going to have a plain sailing agency. No one's going to always retain all of their clients for years and years. It just doesn't happen. So yeah, I think you've got to accept that. I think definitely 100%.
So what's next for you? What's the plan? Carry on scaling up with. Is there anyone in your team you're looking to hire at the moment? What's the next steps? I know you want to hit that 100K point by the end of the year.
Yeah, good question. So yeah, like I said, it's been quite chilled over the last few months. So now I'm just really getting back on track now. Mm-hmm. I did have a VA who was doing outreach for me, who I actually passed on to someone else in the group. So purely because now I'm just really focused on, I just really want to hit those big ticket clients, not so fussed on the volume. It's more, reaching out to businesses that I really want to work with. Definitely. So yeah, just trying to hit that 100K mark. And then I think when I'm there, it's going to be either hiring someone to do all the fulfillment, or maybe getting someone to do sales, but I haven't really made my mind up on that yet. I guess in terms of sales, I guess I still want to be, the face of the business and stuff, but I do like doing the marketing side. So I haven't quite decided yet, but I'll definitely be hiring someone full time.
I think it is key on focusing on quality over quantity with an agency. I think a lot of companies, a lot of agencies make the mistake of signing up loads of clients on like 500 quid a month or something like that, and lots of them. And instead of focusing on just having a few really high ticket clients, because the number of clients, you're going to be doing just about as much work as for having 10 clients on, I don't know, £1,000 as you are having 5 clients on £2,000. It's going to be double the work for just the same amount of money. And so I think the key is really just making sure you focus on those high ticket clients. So yeah, mate, this has been great. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I wanted to get you on because your story is still so raw with quitting the job and like the turn of this year and everything. So, and I wanted to really know kind of how the situation with COVID and everything impacted you. So I hope you guys have got a load of value from this. And if you want to reach out to Sam, are you comfortable people reaching out to you if they want to?
Yeah, absolutely. I've just started my own YouTube channel as well, actually. I'm just flying a shout out quickly at the end of the video. Yeah, it's just Sam Darcy Digital, and you can find me on Instagram under Sam Darcy Digital as well. LinkedIn, nice, yeah, reach out, any questions, happy to help.
Nice, bro. And of course, if any of you join the Affluent Academy, you can reach out to Sam as well. And yeah, reach out. I'll put links in the description to Sam's YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to him, follow his journey. What kind of content are you going to be putting out? Kind of documenting your entrepreneur journey? Or
yeah, just digital marketing stuff, Google Ads, SEO, just covering some other channels and agency stuff as well, man. So yeah.
Amazing. Sounds valuable. Guys, make sure you go check that out and follow Sam's journey. And of course, reach out to him if you need anything from him at all, any questions on anything we've spoken about today. But yeah, that's it for me. Sam, I don't know if you've got anything else to add.
No, that's it. Thanks for having me, Jordan. It's been a good one.
Thank you so much. And guys, share this with somebody else who will get value from it. Make sure you like the video, comment down below your favorite part, and turn your notification bell on so you get notified every time we bring out new content. Thanks so much. I'll see you all soon.